How does a man go from nearly gassing himself to getting to the best shape of his life, physically and mentally, saving his marriage that had completely been torn to pieces, selling his business to completely carve out a new life and trajectory for himself and his family, and continue to be living at peace with himself in complete control of his life? All of that in less than 12 months. Ben did just that, and is actually on board for another season with HPF. Check out what he has to say.
Went over to my shed and I grabbed a roll of duct tape and I was grabbing a hose and I was thinking about gassing myself in my car, and I just stopped for a moment. I was standing there and I just thought, you got to push through, and I just thought of my kids and I thought of my dad, and then just thinking of my dad and my family, it just triggered that memory that Dad had sent me that text. I turned around and I walked straight into my office and I chucked the headphones in and I went bang and I hit play on Ren Sandy's podcast, and within the first probably 3-4 minutes of that, bang, it just hit me. I just thought, fucking hell. That moment, you know, you feel the most alone you've ever felt in your whole entire life, and bang, within those first few minutes of listening to that podcast, it was unbelievable. It just picked me up. It straight away gave me hope.
This is my second year of HPF. I was here this time last year, and wow, what a difference. Last year I was overwhelmed and probably, my confidence was building. Probably hadn't made the connection and was that involved in the tribe and deep in the program as what I am now. And towards the end of last year, I really jumped in and started feeling that connection with HPF and the tribe, and that's what's kept me going. And then to come here for this weekend and see all the new guys and a lot of guys that are in my squad, and even my coach Ed, it's been fantastic. Probably exceeded expectations. You always kind of think, what's it going to be like or whatever, and then you get here and you get amongst it, and it's been bloody awesome. Had a crazy journey, I suppose. A fair few people know my story, and I joined this program off the back of listening to a podcast, and I've been lucky enough to be given the opportunity to actually share my story on a podcast, and that within itself that's huge for me. That's given me a lot. I've got so much out of this program. I wouldn't probably be sitting here unless I'd ever taken the leap and jumped on board with HBF, and for that I'll be ever grateful. If this message goes out to anybody sitting on the fence, curious about what goes on in here, if you're ready to take that step and you mean business to change your life, this is the answer. This 100%. There's not one bloke here that would say otherwise, and anybody else involved in this program is never going to say otherwise. Pull the trigger, take the leap of faith, and jump on board. And thanks to all the coaches, and thanks for making this weekend happen. It's been great, and it's been fantastic to catch up with everybody. And who knows, even this time next year, I could be sitting here again, jumping in for my third year. Anything's possible when you do this shit. It's great. Yeah, the dad.
So if you want to know how Ben crushed it, just look all around you, man. Let me ask you, what kind of environment are you surrounded by? Who are the people around you? Do they actually have what you want? Are they doing what you want to do? Are you surrounded by a tribe of high-performing men with extremely high standards that are holding each other accountable and winning in family, self, and service, the three things that make the man's life? Because that's always the linchpin, always the thing that's missing. With good men who've lost their way in isolation, going at the lone wolf style, within a convoluted world that's full of shit and celebrates poor standards. And hey, no judgment here, man. If you, like the masses, want to just be an average, ordinary, normal man who never amounts to anything and never makes anything of his life, good for you, man. Do whatever you want. Your journey's your journey. But if you're not one of those, and you're cut from a different cloth, and you want your life to actually mean something, you actually want to matter, then maybe tap the link and look into HPF a little more. There you'll see countless testimonials on why we are number one for fathers all over Australia, and how we consistently turn up and fucking dominate the game of life.